So, and I'll even begin why I even decided to talk about this, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not necessarily. I know we had like the whole glass half full, glass half empty topic already.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think that diverged into the thought process of, is there more good in the world or more evil in the world, right?
Okay.
And I want to start by saying I'm not naive enough to think that there's more good in the world generally. I just think that there's more good than we tend to make ourselves believe, right? Because like I feel like for the most part, all the negativity is majority of the time publicized to us. You know, I feel like people crave other people's negative aspects of their life for some like gratification of their own somehow, some way, subconsciously. That's why there's stuff like TMZ, the Shade Room, you know, like
which I follow.
Even Six Buzz became like, it went from like a Toronto news thing to like who's just doing the worst, you know, and then people gravitate to that. I can understand. That's how entertainment has been built through other faults, you know, others' faults and stuff like that. I can understand that. Where I tend to disagree is that majority of the world enjoys that because they have this part of them that is like, in a sense, like bad, you know, evil or some shit. I feel like majority of the time when I'm meeting people, in my experiences, face to face, like there's a skill you have to develop to kind of read somebody in between the lines and get a good idea of like their character, right? And I'm not saying I'm like the greatest at doing this, but for the most part, I feel like when I'm meeting somebody, I can kind of tell where their character lies to some degree based off of how they present themselves to me, right?
Sure.
For the most part, majority of the people that I meet, bro, and this is just straight my experiences, are good-hearted people, right? I can see somewhere down the line people getting lost in their life and having bad decisions haunt them to the point where they lose self-confidence, like they lose themselves in a sense, you know, like they succumb to their faults, right?
Got you.
I've seen that happen, right? But that doesn't mean that, to me at least, that doesn't mean that they're bad people or they're evil people. They're just stuck in a loop, you know? And I really do believe in like recovery, rehabilitation. I feel like people who are making bad decisions can turn a leaf and become good people eventually down the line to a certain degree. I don't feel like, you know, murderers and killers and rapists and shit are gonna become like, you know, saints, right? But I really do believe people make mistakes and can recover from them, you know? Like, it's really dependent on how you view yourself and how much self-respect you have for yourself to get out of what you're doing, right?
I got you.
So in a whole, right? When I look at the world, I kind of see everybody as like, especially the people that are in these situations, I see them as broken people, right? Who still have a chance to be fixed. So my outlook on the world in a sense of like good versus evil is there is majority good that's being hided by evil actions, evil thoughts. And I say evil as a term, but it's like more so like experiences, right? People going through like negativity in their life, which leads to like, you know, self-doubt, low self-esteem, you know, less empathy for others, less compassion, you know, like, but the majority core values of goodness, kindness, empathy, you know, like, just like feeling for someone else, you know, taking yourself out of the picture is out there, you know, and I see it so often, even through people that are like, nah, I think that person's a piece of shit. I'm like, yo, you know, I'm like, this nigga has a problem, or this person has a problem, they're just trying to battle this thing, you know, like, I see them as like, these people can be rehabilitated in my eyes, not by me, but through life, you know? And I just see that as like the general way of looking at the good versus the evil in the world. But I'd like to hear your opinion on this too.
Let me tell you something, brother. I didn't want to cut you off because I wanted to make sure you got your piece in.
Yep.
Because I disagree with everything you just said.
Go for it. I want to hear it all.
So, I agree with the aspect that people have good values. Like, people don't wake up in the morning like, hey, I'm going to be a piece of shit today, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you. But I think on the surface level, people are kind. I think in their core, everybody's rotten. And let me get to the point what I mean by that. So I feel as though, and I tell this theory to everybody and anybody who will listen. I know I told you before, I think people only do stuff that people only do things that benefit them. So every kind of action that you take, at the end of the day, it's to build your own confidence, just to make you feel better as a person. For example, if you're to do like a charity event, awesome, but in your true intention is I want to feel like I'm a good person, so that's why I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? So I don't believe people in their core are good. So like for example, social media. Whenever some people enjoy the aspect of people getting cancelled, right? Even though somebody, built a whole company, aka doing all of that, but people are so well to cut people off. No, I just believe at the core, everybody does things for their own intentions.
But then again, like, and not to cut you off too, like, this is another thing, right?
Yeah.
Agree or disagree? We all know good from wrong, like right from wrong.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree, right?
Agreed.
That being said, the majority of the people that are doing the good are making the decision. The majority of the people that are doing the bad are making the decision, right?
Yeah.
So if people are conscious to these decisions that they're making, right?
Yeah.
And let's look at this the good side, for example. Right? Let's say you give to charity. Let's say you give a significant amount of charity.
Okay.
You will feel good about yourself, right?
Yeah.
You'll feel like you feel like a sense of accomplishment, satisfaction, like okay, that's good.
Yeah.
But the action of you giving to charity is you helping somebody move forward in a sense, right? Whether it's like a meal, whether it's like clothes, or that action right there is not benefiting you at all. You're just losing that. But let me finish. Physically, right? You're just losing money.
Correct.
You're just going negative. And that person is gaining something, right?
Yeah.
That is the action.
Okay.
The feeling of the giving, the feeling of the action, the feeling of the person receiving it, that is up to you. I feel like, this is just my opinion, I feel like your gratification, your satisfaction, how you want to feel, that is all up to you. That doesn't have to be shared with anybody, that doesn't have to affect anybody else.
Yeah.
That is just the decision you made, and the consequence you're dealing with is the feeling you get from it.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So, why do you think celebrities do these charity events and post it on social media?
They have financial gain from that. They have financial gain.
So let me ask you follow-up question. Would they do this without social recognition?
Depending on who they are.
Tell me one celebrity you know that would do that for.
Big Sean.
You think he would?
100,000%. I've been following that guy's career for so long.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most human-like celebrities I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
The guy he's not short of anything in terms of success. He's done it all the Grammys, all that shit. But the guy's core is somebody who I feel like really takes people's experiences and lives seriously to the core. Doesn't have like a huge Instagram presence, all that. Like he's not. Anytime I hear about Big Sean in like the local stuff, it's always about community shit. Always putting on small businesses and stuff like that. He's very much into like mindfulness and meditation like me, about like intuition and stuff like that, learning about himself.
Okay.
Very into health, like there's people out there that will do this stuff. Okay. We're just being blinded by the negativity, is what I'm thinking. Because like you asked, is there a celebrity that do this? There is.
Fine.
There's hundreds of more Big Seans out there. I just don't know their names, right?
Okay.
But we tend to gravitate towards the Kim Kardashians, the Kylie Jenners, like those people who we know or we think we know will be doing it out of financial gain, clout, satisfaction, whatever. Yeah. But there are people like that out there. We're just blind to it.
I honestly think, man, and this is maybe just me pessimistic, at everybody's core, people's intentions are just for their own self-indulgence. And I think
I disagree heavily, man.
No, every act that you do at the end of the day is for your betterment. Give me an example. I will tell you how it benefits you.
That's true.
You go to work. Yeah. You don't care about the work itself. You care about the money that comes in.
Yeah.
You do your crafty. No offense to you, right? You do your crafty. You're building your business. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you see this as a goal for you to at the end of the day for financial reasons, right?
But you're saying that I can't have other things that are driving me to do what I do, or to go through the experience I do. Yes, correct. I have financial gain. You're talking about the action.
Yeah.
The feeling to me is a completely different thing.
Correct.
You know, like you can do whatever you want to do,
Okay.
right? And your actions will always speak for themselves.
Sure.
But how you feel about that is up to you. I can feel a different type of gratitude than you would for giving charity. You know, like I could be like less empathetic to the fact. You know, I could be more like, I lost the change, you know, and you could be more like, yo, I'm helping somebody. Like it's the feeling is up to you. That's how you're perceiving it.
The word I'm emphasizing is good.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if you're not like, for example, you're saying if the end goal results to something good, then that's fine. My thing is good has to equal good. So if you start with good intentions and it equals good, that's the good I'm talking about. For you, I think what you mean is regardless of how you get to the equal sign, if the bad is first and it somehow equals good, that's fine. I don't agree with that.
I think if the results in your actions don't change, then the why doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
Like, let's say for example, like charity, right?
Sure.
Let's use that for example. If I'm giving to charity repeatedly on a monthly basis, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm gonna be like at a certain amount of time. I'm not gonna be thinking, yo, I'm giving to charity. I'm a good person. I'm gonna be thinking, yo, this is what I should be doing. This is like nothing to me. Like this is who I am. You know, like It's not like the thought of me doing something good isn't gonna weigh on my shoulders. Like I'm not gonna give myself like a pat on the back over and over again for doing like it's a routine thing.
Okay.
You know, and this is just something that's embedded. That's why I'm saying the why is irrelevant after the fact.
Sure.
If the results are staying the same, then why are you asking? Like, why are you even like looking at that? You know, like it's just what you do. You know.
Ah, man, I disagree with that, man.
And the same thing can go on the negative side too. Like if you're just constantly being a shitty person, then the why is gonna be like, who cares, man? Like, it's just your routine now. You know.
I get that. And so the whole point that you're making is, although the intentions may not be good, like I think if it's part of the equation and it equals the good.
I feel like if you can look past your own self,
okay,
right? Especially for good things. If you can look past your own self, then any action you do will be the same type of goodness.
Let me ask you a question.
You're gonna get satisfaction, you know?
If the action is greater than the good that's coming towards you, does that take away from the action?
No.
Give me an example.
Like I was just reading right now because I had this idea and I wanted to get the example. For Kim Kardashian, she helped get that lady released from prison.
Yeah.
She was in prison. She was locked up in 1996.
Sure.
At the tail end of Donald Trump's presidency, she went to go sit down with Donald Trump because he likes that photo op shit.
Yeah.
She went to go sit down with him, pitched to him, and he got her released.
Okay.
She's an older black lady.
Yeah.
So Kim Kardashian, she got some notoriety for that, but does that take away from her helping an older lady get released from a life sentence?
That's awesome.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So my thing is, and this is my point. I think what she did was amazing. I'm sure that woman is so grateful for her because she, after let's say 20 plus years of being in prison for something she did not do, she's out, right? I think that's amazing. My thing is, would Kim do that if the media didn't know about it?
Why did that matter?
Because she wouldn't do it if the media didn't care.
But why does that matter?
Because I'm back to my point. It's all about intentions.
But okay. My point.
About intentions.
I know what you're saying.
Like, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
my thing is,
go ahead.
Would Kim do this if TMZ wasn't there asking her how you did it?
Okay, let me ask you this, right? You're asking that question. The results are the results. The person's out of jail. You know, Kim Kardashian helped her. She got her stuff. Moving on. Life's good. End of story. Right? Why? My question is, why are we focusing on why this is going on, and why aren't we just celebrating the action? Like, why is it important? Why are the intentions important? I feel like that should be left to Kim Kardashian.
Because I don't think the intentions were good.
But who are you to think that about somebody else? You don't know her.
Fair. But going back to what the question was, then we're not talking about good. Then we're talking about the result is just for her own benefit.
But that's not the case. We only know what the result is. We only know that this person got out of jail via Kim Kardashian. We don't know prior to what the intentions were. We just are assuming that,
Okay.
right?
Sure.
We're just assuming that. So my point is, we can only, I feel like for the majority of the world, we're very focused on these types of things, intentions, people. And I do agree with you. I feel like celebrities, for the most part, are doing stuff for financial gain, for clout, for publicity and stuff. But I feel like as people, we have to look past certain things, especially when there are good results, and just appreciate them, celebrate them. You know, like why does it being Kim Kardashian take away from her
Because
getting out?
listen.
Why does that have to be the narrative for something?
That is
as
the
good as
narrative.
that? Why?
Because we don't even know this woman's name. The fact that the only
Her
thing
name
that
is
we,
Alice Johnson.
I get that, but I'm saying is the fact that we know this situation by Kim Kardashian took somebody out of jail. We don't even know the woman's name because you know why? Because the media didn't push that. Because the whole point of the media was to tell us Kim got somebody out. She's a good person. Let's support her more.
I disagree, man. I disagree. I think that the headline that's out there is Kim Kardashian helps this person get released from prison. It's not that Kim Kardashian wanted to get some more clout, so she did this. That's parts that we're adding.
Sure.
You know, like I feel like that's the unnecessary part that we're adding into.
I think that part is super necessary because
Why?
If the title wasn't Kim Kardashian took this person out and instead was X person's name was taken out by X celebrity, but like unknown celebrity, would she still have done it?
What do you mean? Ask that again.
So let's take Kim Kardashian's name and let's say it was unknown. Like she preferred to not have her name in there.
Yeah.
Let's say it was I don't know this person's name, but let's say.
Okay, so it was like unknown celebrity releases this person from prison.
Would Kim Kardashian still do it?
What do you mean? Would Kim Kardashian still do it? I don't get what you're asking.
The point I'm making is if recognition wasn't on the table and nobody knew Kim Kardashian.
Oh,
was connected to this
if she
situation,
wasn't able to get any recognition.
Exactly. Would she still do
That's not for us to ask. We don't know her. We don't know all that. We're just assuming based off of what we know about Kim Kardashian. That's why I feel like. That's why I feel like. Okay, that's why I feel like. My general point being that there's a lot of good in the world that's being covered by evil.
Sure.
There is goodness in Kim Kardashian.
I'm not saying there isn't.
I know you're not saying that. I know
there
you're not saying there isn't, but I feel like we're just trying to highlight the negativity in Kim Kardashian, although she's done a great thing. Is that not the case?
Yeah. Okay.
And that goes back to what I was saying. Like we feed off of negativity. We feed off of people's faults. And so much so to the point where a good action can take over somebody, even though they did a really good action. Like your original question was, can the action become greater than the actual person, right? Unfortunately, yes, because of these conversations that we have, and they're just based off of pre-knowledge, media intake, like things that we were consuming about Kim Kardashian that led us to believe her this way. But in all honesty, my nigga, if you really look at the hardcore facts, the person did a good thing, and she should be celebrated for it. But we don't.
A quick other point to it, though. Some of these prison releases, stuff like that, they won't happen unless the public and celebrities talk about it.
Yeah.
And they push it to the forefront. If Kim Kardashian didn't attach her name to it, and they didn't put it to TMZ and all these other places, the prison could easily brush her off. The federal judge, whoever, could brush her off. Say, no, we're not doing that. But they pushed it to the forefront. Everybody's talking about it every second, which made them push this to the front of the list. Say, oh no, we got to get her out of prison. Cause everybody's talking about it and this negative towards us, and everybody's looking at us.
Let me ask you this.
I get that.
Let me ask you this.
I mean, there's truth in that, but go ahead.
And this is back to what I was saying earlier. Remember how I was talking about, like, when you meet somebody, you can kind of like read their character a little bit on first glance, stuff like that. Hypothetical scenario.
Go ahead.
Knowing what you know about Kim Kardashian,
okay.
If you were in this room alone right now and she walked in
sure.
and introduced herself to you and you had a conversation, got to know her, just like I was saying, like a small little.
Yeah.
Do you think she would be a good person or a bad person? What kind of energy do you think she would radiate to you?
Well, I don't want to speak on someone's character.
Just hypothetically, just based off of what you know.
I just think. I really think that the Kardashians. Everything's emotive. Like
I understand that. I'm just talking. Just paint that same picture I just painted in your head.
Yeah.
You're in here by yourself. She walks in here. She sits down.
I'm sure she would say. I'm sure it'd be a cordial conversation. It would be.
Just based off of that small little interaction.
Yeah.
How do you think you gauge her character?
Mm, I'm sure she'd be a pleasant person. I'm not out here saying she wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm not out here saying she's not. I'm not.
Then
Go ahead.
Then why are we highlighting negativity from a great act from Kim Kardashian?
Fam, I'm back to I said
Yeah.
it was awesome that she did that.
I know.
Like, at the end of the day, the result was good.
Why
My thing
did the
is, before the equal sign wasn't good.
Why did the intention matter?
Intentions are everything to me.
But why did they matter in this? Because it's Kim Kardashian.
No, I'm talking anybody in general.
Yeah, but you said if Kim Kardashian, if she didn't have the recognition, would she still do it? Right? We don't know that. That's us assuming something about somebody we don't know based off of what we have been presented about them.
But based on...
That's why I was saying, my nigga, like there's good people out here, but it's being covered by all the negativity we're seeing. Like there's like
You're right.
I feel like if Kim,
right.
like to answer the question I was saying before, if she came in the room right now and I was having a conversation with her, I feel like 99.9% chance there would be like I'd leave the room thinking, yo, this is a good woman.
By all means. But I'm talking about back to what I was saying earlier. Surface level, people are kind.
I understand
on the surface level, but when you get to their true character, people only move based on what they think would benefit them in the long run.
But and that's very fair point.
Yeah.
Very fair point. But who are we to say what she wants to do for herself to gain is right or wrong? Who are we to say?
Say that one more time.
Okay. What do we know about Kim Kardashian? She came up off a sex tape.
Sure.
Keeping up with the Kardashian, and then multiple celebrity husband, man, and then skincare, whatever, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we know about
Sure.
it, right? Of all that shit, what is the most highlighted of all of them?
Keep it with
The sex tape.
Oh, I don't even think about that. The most.
Well, that's how we all got it. That's how we all was introduced.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
That's been like her legacy, essentially her legacy. Sure. Aside from like the reality show.
No, I don't.
The reality show is birthed off.
Brother, I don't think, to be honest, because I know you're not in the Kardashian world. At a certain point, that was the only thing playing in my house. Really? So I got to the point where I got to know these people's like on-screen personality.
Yeah.
Where I was knowing stuff about their life that I probably shouldn't as a man.
Wow. So did you know Bruce Jenner was gonna become a woman?
Actually, I didn't know. But I watched that episode.
You know what's crazy? I didn't know Bruce Jenner existed until he became a woman.
I knew that.
I had no idea. I was like, Olympic runner, what the hell?
But to the point that I was making, flipping.
And I'm not
Kim Kardashian's legacy.
Yeah.
Is not sex tape anymore. That's what kickstarted her career. But the things that she done now are so much more than that.
I understand.
So much more than that.
I understand that, and I'm not saying that that's what she is. I'm not labeling her as just that. I'm just saying that that's how we were all introduced. Essentially, right? That's a negative way of being introduced.
Yeah.
Right? And this person and I'm not like in any way trying to stake up for Kim Kardashian. Like I don't know Kim Kardashian. She could be a piece of shit, and I could just be defending a piece of shit for all I know, right? I'm just saying based off of how we're perceiving people is wrong. I feel it. Right? That's my main point here. Okay. I feel like we should give people more benefit of the doubt in terms of when they do wrong versus when they do right. That's just my whole point. And to relate it to Kim Kardashian, I'm saying that it gets so bad to the point where we can't even give people flowers when they're doing right because we're looking at their faults all the time. You know?
Brother, listen. Kim Kardashian is one of the best businesswomen on the planet.
I agree.
She's a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
She has all the money in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I respect her mind more than anything. Her and her mother's mind to be relevant for 20 plus years, to have multiple shows. Yeah, fact. She's been in the game for long. Fact. I remember
when they come up,
I learned that she used to be Paris Hilton's sidekick.
She was her little role.
And she made sure that she was at the hotels that Paris Hilton was at, just so the paparazzi would be there just to see Kim Kardashian come out. She put work to be relevant.
Oh, and so she was trying to be a star. Through Paris Hilton,
and she became a star, skyrocketed. Yeah. One of the most relevant people on the planet.
Easily.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She is, when it comes to her business acumen, untouched. It's like she has Hall of Fame status. Okay. Yeah. But when it comes to the things that she does, I think her recipe is to stay relevant. And to stay relevant is to do things that would be caught by the media.
Like
And
what?
like, for example, these good things that you're saying. She stayed relevant all these years. And when she found out, and I'm just speaking off of what I think. I'm not saying I know what she was actually, but I'm just saying when she took the first person out of prison, the amount of boys that it caught kept her relevant.
Okay, I disagree, but.
And then the point that I'm making is she has a secret recipe that her and Kris Jenner cooked up that's able to keep her relevant even when she's not on screen anymore, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is one of the components, the plus signs in the equation to make her always be in the eyes of the media. So if this was taken out, and to the point that I was making earlier, and it wasn't associated with her name, I honestly believe, not that I know the answer, I believe that she wouldn't do that.
Okay, let me ask you a random question. Is any publicity good publicity? At that level?
What do you mean?
If you're Kim Kardashian, right? And you trip on the sidewalk, and it becomes a meme, does that help you?
No.
You don't think so?
What do you mean?
Like, I'm just saying, if like, let's say like, the question is any publicity good publicity, right?
Sure.
If something happens to you at that stage, let's say you're Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, whatever, Leo DiCaprio, those niggas, right? Those people. And paparazzi's always following you and shit like that, right? Yeah. Let's say you let's use the following for example, right? Let's say you fell down the stairs, and then everybody took a picture of
Kim
it.
Kardashian was there to pick you up.
You became a meme, you know, all that shit like that. You know, you think you can monetize off that?
Yeah, I definitely can.
Probably can, right?
Yeah.
On the flip side, let's say you're same status, you're walking around the street, blah blah. And then you run into a little kid with a lemonade stand, and you give them money, buy their lemonade, and the paparazzi see that. You think you can monetize that?
Yeah.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
So, if essentially what you're saying is any publicity is good publicity at that point, right?
Sure.
If any publicity is good publicity, wasn't there a decision made for Kim Kardashian to go the route for moral good as opposed to randomness or like random clicks and like drama and shit? Because she could have went the love and hip hop route, but she chose to go to prison reform.
Let me adjust.
So
that.
why, like,
Let me adjust that.
Go ahead.
The first point that you made, if I fell down the stairs, can I monetize off it? Yes, I can, because at the end of the day, it would bring my online presence higher. I'd be able to make money off it. Yeah. Awesome. Mm-hmm. If I was to go to a kids lemonade stand, it's a fair exchange. I give the kid money, I get lemonade, we both benefited off that situation. Back to Kim Kardashian. And the point I'm making is equivalent exchange. Would she, I don't know, I keep emphasizing this, would she do it if there wasn't anything connected to her getting more at the end of the day? But let me give you a celebrity, in my opinion. You said Big Sean earlier. I say Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
That guy goes against my theory.
Okay.
Because he goes
to Walmart and bless his niggas. Yeah.
I remember I was watching a podcast, and he was like, every time I go to a store, I bless somebody. Yeah. He goes, fam, you know how many times that is? And that's never been captured by the media. It had to come out of him to say that. I 100% agree. I don't think Kim Kardashian would do the same thing.
But then again, that goes back to the
I don't know her intentions, right?
But that goes back. That's another thing. But we digest negativity, fam. That's my whole starter off in this whole conversation was that I noticed that we digest negativity more than positivity, right? When something good happens out there, it gets pushed to the side. When something bad happens out there, oh shit, everybody wants to see it. Yeah. That's just how it is. That's what I disagree with. I think that's wrong. And that shouldn't be the case, but it's reality. That's life, right? Yeah. That being said, at a stage like Kim Kardashian, right? The reason why I asked is any publicity good publicity. Kim Kardashian, let me think. I don't really watch Keeping Up with Kim Kardashian.
You asked me, I know everything.
So remember when she had the Roblox?
Yeah.
Roblox scandal?
That's fake, by the way. I still believe that was fake.
You watch Radiant Live?
Huh?
Did you watch Radiant Live?
No.
They did a whole live exposing them.
Yeah, you could say I read so many articles. The chances of that happening apparently was 0.00000 something. right?
Wow.
And the fact
know
that it
that.
happened to Kim Kardashian, it's unheard of.
It's fake.
The CEO or whatever came out and said the chance of that happening is so irrelevant that there's no way that could have happened. And they used that. See, for example, self-benefiting. The fact that she was so willing to increase her stock by throwing a company underwater just because it created buzz. Because for 2 weeks or so, that's all we were talking about. We were talking about, oh, Roblox is such a terrible blah 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 because they put this on a kid game on blah blah blah. Do you see what I'm saying, bro? Everything that this woman does, and the credit to her because she's a great businesswoman, is for her to benefit in the long run because for 2 weeks that's all we were talking about. Yes or no?
I heard everything you just said. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. The way you delivered it right now, though, made it seem like you have a problem with Kim Kardashian.
I don't. I respect her so much. I respect
you
her.
said that several times. You said that several times. But the way you're ready to pounce on her throat when she did something wrong, and the way you didn't show that energy when she was doing something right, and you're trying to pick and choose, trying to find stuff that's wrong about it, is exactly what I'm talking about in this conversation. It's like we are so quick to find what is the gain from this that there's no appreciation. You know, I feel like we're bypassing the same way you went all into that right now.
Okay.
Right? And you picked it so nice, and I agree with everything you just said. They did that shit. It was scummy, and I could even go. There's a huge backstory that Ray J had alive, and he said, Kris Kardashian, Kris Jenner, she was the mastermind behind the whole sex tape. She set it up. I agree with you, right?
Okay.
But my thing is, let's keep that same energy for when she does something good.
I get
We
you.
don't.
We
just
do.
did it.
We talk about the
You
world.
celebrates her. Wait. But you just tried earlier to pick and choose a reason why she was doing that. Although she did something great, although there was a great action that was done, you had to find a reason why Kim Kardashian is doing this. It was just not. It couldn't be about good morality at all. That's what happened. But when she did something wrong, it was immediately like we know exactly why she's doing this. That's what my whole point. My whole point in general is just like to sum it all up. There's so much good out there.
Yeah.
There's so much good out there, but it's being shadowed by the shitty stuff people do. Like I'll give you an example, right? Inshallah, someday Crafty will become a great business, Fortune 500, big time status. I'll be somebody in a respectable position.
Crafty on Instagram.
Big time status, right?
Yeah.
If I have a scandal at that point, like if I get to that point, inshallah, and if I have a scandal, my whole career could be done based off of one shitty thing that I did.
It's done.
I know you would. You're going right to TMZ. You're getting the bag. I know you would.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
But that just being said, like, it's career finished.
Yeah.
Career finished. And that's because people, majority of the time, are just waiting for people's downfalls, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like, and this is no offense to you, fam, but like, you sound like you're waiting for Kim Kardashian's downfall when you're talking about her in this way. And I'm just trying to say, yo, let's look at it in a light where let's just analyze the facts, right?
Okay.
Let's take the people out of the equation, especially when it comes to good stuff, right? If George W. Bush, right?
Yeah.
Somehow randomly wakes up on the right side of bed one day and says, yo, I want to donate all my money to Africa.
Sure.
I don't need this shit anymore.
Yeah.
Who are we to be like, yo, fuck that nigga. We don't need his money. There's going to be so many people that say that shit. Yo, he fucked up Iraq, bro. Fuck that nigga. What the hell? Him now? Are you kidding me? After the Twin Tower? But at the end of the day, my nigga, Africa got some change they never fucking had. And no one's going to care about that. That's the problem with the world.
That's a whole other topic. But I agree. No. I'm not saying people can't turn a new leaf, my guy.
I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying that.
Just take clearly he respects Kim Kardashian's business mind.
Yeah.
In a sense where he thinks everything can be capitalized. Take it off Kim Kardashian. I was just reading right now. Mm-hmm. I want to look up who else did it. You know Maya Moore.
Yeah, Maya Moore.
She's a WNBA superstar.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, Hall of Famer.
Yeah. But
she stepped away from her illustrious career.
Sure.
Because there was a gentleman named Jonathan, I think. Anyway, she was introduced before she went into college. She was introduced to his story by her godparents that he was wrongfully convicted in prison. So she in her 30s, she stepped away from her career to go do prison reform and make sure he gets out of prison. After a long fight in 2020, she helped him get out of prison.
Mhm.
They end up falling in love, getting married.
Wow.
Cool.
Does that take away from her
That's
action?
different. I think that's completely different than Kim Kardashian.
Why is it different?
Because at the end of the day, Kim benefited off of that. This woman had an amazing career in basketball. Stepped away. That was a subtraction from her life. She stepped away, did what she needed to do, take this man out of prison. She actually sacrificed. Would Kim Kardashian?
But I don't think she retired from the game
She's
for
not
that.
back.
I don't think Maya Moore retired for prison reform. She retired for a different reason, right?
They
If I'm not
said
mistaken.
personal. What's called
She,
here?
I'm
She
pretty
chose
sure.
to
I'm pretty sure I read. And please search this up if I'm mistaken, fam. But she retired to become something in the church for religion.
They said
Sure,
at the
but
time they did say that.
I don't think they're
Yeah.
comparable.
to focus
I
on her faith.
don't think
Yeah.
it's comparable. I
So
don't.
I don't think she gave up her career for this, for the prison reform. If that's what you're saying.
No, but the point I'm making is, at the time
Mhm.
of the prison reform and taking this person out,
Mhm.
she was willing to step away from what brought her the media,
Mhm.
what brought her into the spotlight,
Which is.
which is basketball.
But she's not choosing to step away because of this.
Did she not step away from basketball?
For
to-
different reasons, though.
No. She stepped away to focus on getting this man out of jail. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's what I'm trying to
I'm gonna-
say right now.
I'm
I'm
gonna-
No,
trying to say-
that's what it is.
I'm trying to say that that's not true. I'm trying to say that there's a
Well, we can fact check that.
that's what we need to fact check before we move forward.
That's what
But finish your point though. I want to hear it.
No, the point I'm making is, would Kim Kardashian step away from being a Kardashian?
She doesn't have to. Why are we even asking that?
No, because I'm talking about that sacrifice. I'm equating.
Why
the
are we
sacrifice.
comparing the two? Why are we
Well,
comparing the
because
two?
that's what came up. Because this woman had to focus.
He asked. Did that take away from the action? Was
The
it her
equal
getting?
sign. The equal sign is the same, my guy. What I'm saying is the intention that woman. We will fact check that, of course.
Mhm.
But the intention that she had was, I'm willing. It's the good in my heart to take this person out.
Mhm.
I will sacrifice what I love doing the most, playing basketball, to focus on getting this man out of jail. The intention although it equates the same thing, I think the intention, and I can't confirm, the intention that Kim Kardashian had was social status, recognition, X, Y, and Z, which equals the good. At the end of the day, equal sign is the same on both ends, but the intention at the beginning was two different avenues.
You may be 1,000% right, but why does it matter?
Because what Kim...
Why does it matter?
It does matter.
Why?
It does matter.
Why?
Because people do stuff
Mhm.
for their own recognition. So later, in 50 years, when this is not cool anymore, would Kim Kardashian still do it?
Why does that matter?
It does matter.
Why? You're not giving me a
Because
reason.
it's all about being in the eyes of the people. So in 50 years, when it's not cool anymore, taking people out of
You
police.
keep telling me how. I want to know why. Okay, if you're Kim Kardashian
Yeah.
and you're doing this for clout, why? Why are you doing it for clout?
Because it keeps me relevant.
And then what? You're already on. You have it up.
No, she's been relevant.
You
for
have
10
a
years.
little
It's
bit of
It's a
game.
different recipe.
My nigga, that's
It's a different
what I'm trying to
recipe.
say. What I'm trying to say is the little bit of clout that you're equating the
It's not
The
little.
action too?
It's not little.
But hold on, but the amount of clout you're equating to action to is way less than the satisfaction and gratification she probably got from the action itself. That is what's supposed to be focused on.
Disagree.
It's not. I'm not saying that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's irrelevant. Who cares? That's gonna happen regardless, right?
Okay.
Somebody got out.
Yeah. No.
That's the focus.
Okay.
It's awesome. Go ahead.
It says here, so this is ESPN on March 10th, 2021. It says that she stepped away from the game in 2019 to focus on family and ministry dreams that has been stirring in her heart for many years.
That's what I said. She wants to be a
And then
minister
she
in the
spent
church.
a year and a half committed to working for the release of Jonathan Irons, which is the person I was mentioning.
So are the two related?
Huh?
Are the two things related? Her becoming a minister and the prison reform thing,
So-
are they two things related?
That's one, she wanted to focus on her faith, which is one thing why she left.
Okay.
But at the same time, she knew about this case from before she was in college.
So there's
So
two
she's been
different-
trying to get that done.
That's the answer I was looking for. Thank you very much.
What is it?
We're both right.
How so?
You said that she chose to step away to get this guy out of prison, and I was saying how she chose to step away to be in the church. But you just said right now she did both. So we're both
I
right.
think mine is more important though.
No,
I think
you just want to be right because you want to shit on it. You want to shit on it.
No, man, listen. At the end of the day, there's good in the world.
Yeah. I'm not
Good.
okay. A lot of before you say anything, I'm sorry to cut you off. I
Go
hate
ahead.
doing that.
No, go ahead.
All of this is gonna make me sound like I'm a naive person. I'm not.
I'm not saying you are.
No, I know. I'm not saying
I'm
you're
not
saying
saying
I'm
you are.
naive, but this conversation is going to make me the more naive looking of the two of us, or the three of us that are having this conversation, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that people who think like me are naive at all.
Yeah.
I just think that they're aware of the other side of this. Like there's two sides of the coin, right? And I feel like there's majority of the people are focusing on the negativity. And when I say negativity, I mean like, you know, bad intentions or selfishness or like, you know, stuff like that we were just talking about right now.
Yeah.
As opposed to the actions always being the same in terms of goodness. We're losing focus on that.
Okay.
That's just my general point. And it's gonna make me look naive because like the
No.
majority of people like me are always like, yo, fuck the world, everybody's a piece of shit. There's no room for me unless I just, you know, survive. It's
Okay.
not like that. There's beauty in life. There's so much goodness around.
There
You
is
have to-
goodness.
You can enjoy yourself and enjoy other people without having to like, you know, walk on eggshells about shit like that. You know, like I feel like other people's intentions are up to them, in my eyes, and that should be left to them.
Yeah.
And when it becomes, especially when the actions are staying the same, like if the results are the same, the why is always going to be irrelevant to me. Always.
I don't agree with that.
I just think that.
I respect that, and I understand that there's a lot of good in the world. Because at the end of the day, people just want to be happy,
Mhm.
and people are just good people. I'm not saying they're not, but I just think the overall how the good happens is just as important as the end goal.
That's
you know?
where I disagree.
Because like, if people are doing it for like things that are not good, I don't think at the end of the day that overall end product should be good. You know?
Okay.
I
I
don't
get what
think
you're
that.
saying. I get what you're saying. And you
I don't
have
think
you have a very strong case to stand on because that's the majority of how everybody sees it,
Yeah.
right? But I just feel like if you take a second to look at it from this perspective that I'm seeing it in, life is just so much better. Especially your experiences with other people,
Yeah.
to me, become better
Sure.
because you can shed off that little bit of
Yeah, I don't
That
like
little
people.
bit of
I don't
guard.
like people.
yeah. Like I love people.
I don't like
That's the thing. I really very much enjoy
I
meeting
don't like
people.
people. I don't like I not to say I have a difficult time talking to people, but for the most part, when like small talk is easy, but
Mhm.
when you have to talk to somebody for an extended period of time,
Mhm.
and you like I noticed that for the most part, people are just boring, fam.
But what if you find niggas that are a girl that is just so fun to talk to?
Rare.
But you have those, right?
Yeah, but rare.
Don't you enjoy that?
I do.
Why are you like not crave that more?
No, but it's just so uncommon, bro. It's just so uncommon.
This is a very vague, random question. I want your answer as well. Do you have faith in humanity?
I do.
Can you explain?
I at the end of the day, good is good.
Mhm.
So like if good is being made out there,
Mhm.
I think it's fine. Like I love how the world went to support Ukraine when all that stuff is happening. You know,
Mhm.
I think that's beautiful.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I love how when push comes to shove, people's true character is just about love and supporting and making sure everybody's okay in the world.
No.
Like I forgot that Instagram page about something of New York. I forgot what it's called.
Oh. Humans of New York?
Yes,
Yeah,
that page.
yeah.
I
love
love
that
that page so much
Yeah.
because they like I don't know who that person is, but God bless them.
Mhm.
They find people in New York
I know, I've seen
and
those.
then they say their story,
Mhm.
and then for the most part, you would never hear these people's story ever.
Yep.
And then you're invested in them.
Mhm.
You fall in love with their story. You fall in love with their character, and then you look at the comment section and you see people are like this really made my day, and then they do like a GoFundMe page to support
Yeah,
these people.
yeah.
And that
And they get full up.
exactly.
Yeah.
I think that is such a beautiful initiative.
Mhm.
I think at the core, people are, you know,
We love that shit.
yeah. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I just think people's true intention is not always at the best.
I disagree heavily, man. I just think
You know?
that like what you're
But
saying is true.
I do have
You have
faith.
me until like
I do have faith in the world.
you have me until that one last sentence.
I do have faith in the
Like
world.
I just truly think, and this could go into a whole conversation of why could go into a whole different conversation, but from what we consume on a daily basis, it's more negativity than positivity. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why that's happening. We can blame the social media apps can blame the higher ups, whoever's in charge, all that shit, whatever. But that is just the reality. We see and tend to gravitate towards more dumb, negative shit than good shit like Humans of New York. And people love that. It's just not what we're used to seeing all the time. Imagine a life where Humans of New York was like the Kim Kardashians of the world. Like that's what reality TV was. Like everywhere you go, like the hot topic is something amazing. Imagine a world like that. Wouldn't that be so livable? Like, wouldn't that be just like wouldn't that be like a utopia?
Yeah.
We can push our specific personal lives to that by shifting this focus.
Okay.
I personally think that. I think that
you're right.
If you change the narrative in your own life to view positivity and negativity as a balanced structural thing, life will be so much better, much more enjoyable. And that's just from my personal experience. Wallahi, real talk.
I agree, man. I just think, like, to be honest, I'm working on that, and I love the way you think, bro. Trust me.
It just
I think
recently
love.
happened,
I think love should be something that is more displayed out there.
But truly and honestly,
but I don't think the world is in that condition to accept that yet.
I agree.
And I will do my best, similar to you, to push that forward, because I love helping. I love family.
I know.
You know, I love love.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Knowing you, fam, I know exactly why you're the way you are, and I know who you are at your core, right? You're just like me. You're like the Humans of New York is. That's your shit.
I love that.
That's your shit.
I love that.
I know that about you. You're just very much on guard, much more on guard than I am. That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Can you see yourself being less on guard as a person?
I don't think so, though. I know, because, like, I really, and maybe this is something I need to work on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think people come into your life with the best of intentions.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
And
I 100% agree with you.
When it comes to Kim Kardashian and her stuff, of course it equals the good side. But if you come to my life with not good intentions, then that personally affects me, and I don't want you to be there for a long period of time.
I 1000% agree with you.
You know what I mean? So, like, I need like-minded individuals, and it's very hard for me to find that in this world. I'll be real with you. Like,
Okay.
I've kept the same 10 group of guys my entire life, and then recently I added a new person in my friend group, right? And that's in the span of 5 years, you know? Like, I don't accept people in my life very easily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, will I find that? Yeah, inshallah, that's what I'm hoping, but will my guard ever be down? Probably never.
You know, I think 2 years ago, or when COVID started, is when I became like this.
Yeah.
Before, I was like very much like, I didn't see any faith in people, right? And I think the shift was just being away from so many different people for COVID, the majority of COVID, not having interactions with people, and just psychoanalyzing how people are in the comfort of my own space for as long as I had to.
Yeah.
Which led me to believe, which led me to think, give people more chances to show who they really are before you can give that judgment, before you can let your guard
How many,
up.
how many chances do you need to give people?
That's the thing, though. Like that it's more of a personal thing, right? Like my way of doing that was converse with more people, right?
Yeah.
Try being less shy, less quiet. Go and be like, extend your hand a little bit more. Especially like in your normal environments, work, friend groups, like shit like that. That was my way of doing that, and it's working out so well for me. Alhamdulillah, I'm loving life right now. It's really good, right? But I really want, like, somehow, some way. I know there's someone out there that's gonna shout me and be like, "Yo, my nigga, you're right. I think the same way. I just have not met them."
I think people are more on your side than my side.
I disagree.
I think people are more on your side because I'm talking from a place of negativity. You're talking from a place of positivity that people are very easily attached to. You know,
I think a lot of guys tend to think like you, and a lot of women tend to think like me, and that's the issue I'm having.
Maybe.
That's the issue I'm having, because like I can't convince niggas, like hardcore pill niggas.
No, I disagree, because I think women's guards are more up than men's guards. I think
when it comes to men, yes, but when it comes to people, right? Like, I don't get that openness from guys. It's only from girls that are like,
no problem. I agree. I actually agree.
There's very little happy to see you niggas.
And that's why I've been doing this thing recently. Whenever I go out, I try to give at least a couple of compliments out to guys that I see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I see a guy with some really, I love shoes. When I see a guy with a really nice shoes, I'm like, yo, bro, I love your kicks. Fam, the way that it lightens them up.
It makes the difference.
Because I don't think a lot of guys get a lot of compliments.
Exactly.
Like they look at my feet, they look at their feet like, yo, really? I remember there was a guy that, yo, you think so? I'm like, yeah, but I love your shoes.
For me, I usually do that too, but it's only when I want it. You know, I'm like, yo, where'd you get that, my nigga?
Yo, there was a time.
And they get so out.
There was a time I was walking on the street. There was a guy on the other side of the street. There was a black guy. I loved what he was wearing.
The whole fit?
Whole fit. I saw the shoes, I saw the pants, I saw everything.
What was he rocking? Keys,
I don't remember. I just remember it being something I loved so much. I yelled out to him. I was like, yo, I love what you're wearing. Man paused. He's like, thanks.
Wow.
And that was, to be honest, that made my day. And I'm sure it made his day too.
Trust me, that shit is like.
It's like.
Has that ever happened to you?
A couple. I get you have a really nice beard often.
One time.
I don't get anything else. That's the only compliment.
Yeah, I can tell your beard is definitely.
People never look at me like you got nice eyes.
One time in my entire life, one time. One time
what?
Came out of the barbershop and a random girl said, "Yo, I like your haircut." That was like 2012. Still haven't forgotten.
That would make me fat.
I haven't. That was 2012, 10 years ago. I have not forgotten.
That would make my life.
Trust me, man. That's why I knew Lenny knew how to cut. I was like, yeah.
I don't think he. Anyways, I'm not gonna say.
I've had better since, but he's still top G.
No, we're sorry, we're just getting you. That's a nice beard. Him gleaming off that is hilarious.
And you see that all the time, fam. I've complimented beards too.
I always have Tim Hortons line. I was asking for a nice coffee. Man Pie's like, you got a really nice beard. Like, yo, thanks.
My nigga, that's a crazy compliment. That's a crazy compliment.
That's not a compliment I hear often of people walking up to each other and saying, yo, you have a nice beard.
And then another
look at his beard though, man.
People think it, but I don't think people will say it. I've never seen people say it.
I get big man often. Yo, big man, how you doing, bro? And I'm like, sometimes I don't know if they're saying that because they think I'm muscular or if they think I'm fat.
No,
so,
no,
I don't know. Hey, yo, big man. Because sometimes they look at me like this. I'm like, yo, relax.
Damn, you're a big man.
Nah, your shoulders are up. It's not like you have a pot belly.
Yeah, but you know, I sometimes, because I grew up fat, when somebody says big man to me, I'm like, yo, I call
PTSD,
fat.
That's fat PTSD. Don't kill me.
Yeah, but let's close out this episode.
Yeah, no, this is a really great conversation. I'm very much enjoying having this conversation because, like I said, I've always thought this, but could never really vocalize how it is, you know? And this is pretty much the first time I ever really got it out in words.
Yeah.
But essentially, that mindset change I've had a couple of years ago till now, I'm trying to at least open up as many people to it as possible, you know?
Fam, I agree with that. Like, inshallah, I want to get to that point where I think like you know? But it's a work in progress. I'm not going to lie.
I agree.
I always have my guards up.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get to the point where, like, I'm more open-minded to like you. Cause I want to, like, going back to my original analogy, I want to be glass half full.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be glass half empty. Cause right now I'm at the empty guy, and I want to get to the point where I see the goodness in the world and the flowers and the sunshine.
Man,
but my world is dark, fam. My world is
just rain clouds, rain clouds and thunder. Oh my god, yeah.
Well, that's alright.
Yeah, man. Here we
Thank you
go.
guys for watching.